Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I'm doing my TBR for the Spooky Smart Bitches Readathon hosted by Jordaline, who is one of my faves. We are friends. But my dumbass missed the announcement video for the Spooky Smart Bitches Readathon. So sorry this is coming to you late. So I am also luckily, I don't know, an insomniac right now during my third trimester of pregnancy. So I was like, I think if I add more books to my TBR for the Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon, it won't be any drama. I'll easily be able to do it. So here we are. So yeah, this is my TBR and let's get started. So the first prompt is to read a queer author. And for this, I'm going to do Lost Souls by Poppy Z. Brite. I saw Sion haul this. I know that Avi's reading it, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to read it so bad. Poppy Z. Brite is the pen name of Billy Martin. And Drawing Blood is my favorite queer horror novel of all time, and Exquisite Corpse is the grossest, most gruesome horror novel I've ever read of all time. So my hopes are so high, and that's why I've never read Lost Souls yet, because you know, like when your favorite author of a certain genre doesn't have many books out? Yeah, but I just can't help myself. So I'm gonna order this in like a physical copy because I think that I'll love it and really want it on my shelves. So hopefully it comes here in time, and then I will be reading Lost Souls. So this is following a group of drifters who are queer, and also I think one of them's a ghost, one of them's a vampire. There's also a road trip. There's a lot of different elements. Generally speaking, if the elements were not written by Poppy Z. Brite, I might not be interested, but Brite's writing style is so seductive and dark. Like, I'll read everything. So super keen to get to this one. Then next up is to read a translated horror, and for this I'm going to read A Luminous Republic by Barba, who is from Spain, and this was translated from Spanish. This is about a town where I think like over 20 children come out of the forest and slowly descend upon the town. I bought this a while ago. I love, love, love the cover. I think it's so creepy. Like, these are little eyes of the children peeking out of the forest, and I just honestly cannot wait to get to this book. Yeah, I don't know. I might pick this up very, very soon, as in tonight. All right. After that, we have read a book you've never seen anyone talk about. So this one is one that I bought randomly. It's called Monster Love by Carol Topolski. And the thing is, I've never heard anyone talk about it, and it has low ratings, but I'm very intrigued. So it's about a couple, and I believe they have a baby, but instead of being really attached to the baby, instead something goes wrong because no one has seen the baby in a very long time, and the neighbors are left wondering, like, what happened to that little girl? I'm keen to get into it and see why people hate it so much. And I've never heard anyone talk about it. All right, next up is to read a BIPOC author. And for this, I'm going to do At Night, All Blood is Black by David Diop, who is a writer from Senegal. So this is translated from French. So I've talked about this a few times and it has escaped me, but no longer. This is following a soldier in the war whose friend falls, and the friend asks for a mercy killing so that he can end his pain, and the main character can't do it. So then when the friend dies, the main character just feels like horribly guilty, so he sneaks across enemy lines every night to cut off parts of enemy soldiers. And at first, his soldier mates, his fellow soldiers, are like, wow, such a badass, whatever. And then over time they're like, think something's wrong with him. So I'm very keen to get to it. I think it sounds dark and amazing. Awful, but amazing. All right. Next is to read a woman author, and from this, I'm reading a NetGalley I was blessed with very recently. So this is From the Neck Up, which is a collection of short stories by Aliya Whiteley. This will be coming out in September, but I can't wait. I need to read it like now. So if you don't remember, Aliya Whiteley wrote Skyward Inn, which is one of my favorite weird books of the year. I will leave that playlist I did down below of favorite books that are weird so far in 2021. But her novel was at the top. So she's an Irish writer, and her writing is very surreal and body horror together. And I love it. So again, just judging from the cover, the mushrooms. Oh yeah, Aliya Whiteley has a thing with mushrooms, I think, which I hate mushrooms, so they work perfectly for me for in horror. This is a collection of beautiful, strange, and disarming short stories from Whiteley, who appeals the strangeness of everyday life. I don't want to know more than that, but I'm super excited to get to this. I think it looks amazing. And when I got it on NetGalley, I was like, yes, I'm so happy because Aliya Whiteley is my jam. All right, next up is to read horror manga. For this, I'm gonna read The Girl from the Other Side. I've been reading this series for a while now. I'm not sure if I'm on volume 5 or 6. I forget which one I'm on. But essentially, just from volume 1, there is a world where people in the cities are being protected from the monsters on the outside who were once humans, but they've been infected and then expelled to the outside. And if you touch a monster, you get sick and become a monster. So that's the world we're in when a young girl is abandoned in the forest outside of the walls and a monster takes her in with the one rule of don't ever touch me because, you know, I don't want you to become a monster. I want you to be a human. So that was the starting point in the first volume. I really love this. This is sweet and creepy at the same time. I love the art style and I'm excited to see where it goes. Next is based on a true story, and for this I'm gonna do In the Garden of Spite by Camilla Bruce, who is a writer from Norway, although I believe this was written in English, so it's not translated, but she is Norwegian. So In the Garden of Spite is a novel based on the true life story of the Black Widow of LaPorte, who is an American female serial killer, also known, I think, as like a Black Widow. So I first heard about this from Bailey Sarian. Obviously, if you don't know who Bailey Sarian is, what are you doing with your life? She does stories about like serial killers, murderers, weird things that happened, and she also does now true history. She just did Andrew Jackson, which I've been watching over dinner with my husband. Anyway, Bailey Sarian had an episode on the widow of LaPorte, and it got me intrigued. So when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited to read it. So yeah, this is on my list. It is about a woman who entices men, I think kills them to get their inheritance or their money, and she got away with it for a really freaking long time. Yeah. And the last book is the group book, which is The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas, who is a Black queer American author. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't know if I'll get to this one. Maybe. I'm like tentatively putting it here, but I don't read a lot of YA anymore, and yeah, that's basically it. I don't read much YA these days, so I'll see if I get to it. But basically, it's following, I believe, Jake, who is a Black boy in a predominantly white prestigious school, and things start happening like from microaggressions toward like devolving into like a Get Out kind of situation. So that's all I know about that. May not be picking it up depending on how others are feeling. Like I'm gonna assess the situation. Yeah, so those are all the books that I'm gonna read for the Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon. Let me know what you're reading down below. I would love to hear it. And without further ado, I will chat to you in another video soon. Lots of love. Bye!